Search continues for the missing pilot from the 104th Fighter Wing in Westfield, whose F-15 went down in Virginia on Wednesday. 22 News reporter Caitlin Gosley is live in Westfield at Barnes Air National Guard Base with more information about the jet and that pilot was flying in.
Yeah, the rescue mission has been going on now. Coming up on 30 hours, they're searching for that pilot that's been missing. And it's all going on in the Washington National Forest region. Now, that has been a little bit delayed because some of that terrain in that area is dangerous. I am standing here with Major Matthew Muty of the 104th Fighter Wing here at Barnes Air National Guard. Good morning, good afternoon now, Major. And, you know, you explained to me that a lot of this search has been going on up in the air now with some infrared cameras and things like that. But the big question is, you know, what would have caused the pilot to possibly eject from that plane, or is there any indication that we know whether or not the pilot did?
So in the moments leading up to the actual crash, the pilot did communicate back to Washington Center that he had what was known as an IFE, or an in-flight emergency. And that communication to us identifies that he knew that there was a problem with the aircraft that he was trying to handle at that time. What the training will lead him to is to basically go through procedures to try and safely recover the aircraft, and in the event that he feels his life is in jeopardy, he'll pull two handles on each one of his sides and he'll eject his seat from the actual cockpit of the aircraft. Okay, and do we have indication at this point that that did or did not happen? Unfortunately, the events that led from that point to the actual crash are part of the investigation. And those events we don't want to speculate on, and we don't know exactly what happened. What we're hopeful for is that his training would have led him to that decision, and he would have ejected safely, and we're going to recover our pilot as soon as we can. Tell us a little bit about the specific plane that he was, the jet that he was in. There are a few variations of that F-15, correct? So the F-15 has three different variations. One that's an air-to-air asset, that's what we fly, the F-15C. There's also an F-15E, which is an air-to-ground asset, which actually drops bombs. The F-15C typically flies at higher altitude, so we suspect at this point that he was flying above 30,000 feet and he was traveling at a standard airspeed based on his cross-country mission. Okay, and as far as that contacting Washington, D.C., the air traffic control, that he did, you know, there was some kind of emergency with that pilot, you know, as far as the timeline of that is concerned, is that helping with the search and rescue in any way? Does it give them any indication of where the pilot may be located should he have ejected? So one of the things that tells us, it's a clue in the puzzle that we're putting together. And there's an investigation that's happening simultaneously to the rescue mission. And that investigation is going to help us understand what happened so we can try and prevent it in the future. Okay, and we do send our regards to all of you at the base and the family that is coping with this search and rescue. And, you know, you do have some members down there, correct? We do. Right now we have 16 folks that are on site down in Virginia, and they really are trying to play an integral part of coordinating that rescue mission. But really right now our focus is on that and taking care of the family back here, both the pilot's family and the family that we work with, and making sure that we can focus on our mission here to support the freedom of this United States. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us, Major Muty. We will stay in contact with Major Muty and anyone other spokesman for the 104th Fighter Wing. We will give you all of the latest information on that search mission just as soon as we do get it. That's going to come to you right here on 22 News on the Air and at our website, wwlp.com. Live in Westfield, Caitlin Gosley, 22 News.